Hello, this video is brought to you by my supporters on Patreon and my members on YouTube. Minasan, hontou ni arigatou gozaimasu. My name is Kurt. Today is the 18th day of November, 2023. This is my Good Life meditation, an exercise that I do each and every morning, a little bit after waking up. It's now 4:42 a.m. I do this to remember my life objectives and principles, those which are outlined in my book, Going Alone. And you can get a copy from the link in the description. I recommend the hardbound edition. I also use this time to remember the last, or reflect upon the last 24 hours, including last night, to see how I did with the various challenges and opportunities that I met, to tune my life. I also use the time to think about the coming day, what I plan to do, and to forecast any challenges or opportunities I might meet. And then I prepare myself for death. Let's get started. First, last night and yesterday. Oh no, I gotta read a poem. Yeah, I always like to read a poem before I start. As I start, we're gonna read the second day from a poem from Edward Thomas called House and Man. Here we go. House and Man. 1 hour. As dim he and his house now look as a reflection in a rippling brook, while I remember him, but first his house. Empty it sounded. It was dark with forest boughs that brushed the walls and made the mossy tiles part of the squirrel's track. In all those miles of forest silence and forest murmur, only one house. Lonely? He said. I wish it were lonely. Which the trees looked upon from every side, and that was his. He waved goodbye to hide a sigh that he converted to a laugh. He seemed to hang rather than stand there, half ghost-like, half like a beggar's rag, clean wrung and useless on the briar, where it has hung long years of washing by sun and wind and rain. But why I call back man and house again is that now on a beech tree's tip I see, as then I saw, I at the gate and he in the house darkness, a magpie veering about, a magpie like a weathercock in doubt. As I read this poem, just memories flush back into my mind. Memory of the house at the 7th Street Market, where I lived for a time alone in the barrio. Felt like that house. And I'm thinking of places in Japan where I might loiter my time away in poetic thought. I look forward to that. Okay, last night and yesterday. I slept good last night, better than the night before. Yesterday was a significant day in my life. Very big day. I didn't see it coming. I did a training yesterday, my 4th formal AI training. I really prepared hard for this one. It was supposed to be 90 minutes, an hour of lecture demonstration, followed by 30 minutes of Q&A. Turned out to be an hour and 15 minutes of lecture demonstration, followed by 45 minutes of Q&A. Could have gone longer. Went better than I could have hoped. Well received. It was significant for a couple of reasons. One, it was significant because it seemed to have been successful. At least that's the feedback that I've received from the organizer. Second, it was successful because it solidified something, a piece of knowledge that I didn't even know that I didn't have. That sounds strange. It sounds like I know everything. How do I say this? It solidified a piece of knowledge that I didn't know that I could have, which is the sense of a self-made man or woman, for my case a man. I knew this when I was striking out at this, at this AI thing, that there was nowhere to go to get trained. It's too new. I jumped into this right at the beginning. As soon as OpenAI released ChatGPT, I was on it like a fish on a hook, big fish on a hook, not letting go. And I knew, and I told my wife this and others, I said, this is something that if you become an early adopter and push at it, you can become a part of this field, because there is no precedent. And I believe that I've reached that point as of yesterday. I would now have confidence to take my show anywhere, deliver my 90-minute presentation and demonstration to anyone, anytime, with maybe 2 hours of prep, because I would want to adjust the presentation to whatever audience I'm going to. But it's about 40 slides now, PowerPoint slides, a solid presentation start, and it'll get better. And I made all of that of my own hands from scratch. It didn't exist. No, there's no precedent. Just like writing a book. I guess the book is similar, but I'd seen that course done many times. That was the way it's done. But now I would go with confidence. Yesterday's thing was with homeless service agencies, their representatives, and including government agencies and private sector software vendors. It was a whole, collection of people in a very, very important special field. So my sense of confidence and sense of accomplishment just are through the roof now. It's a good feeling to be almost 60 and have made myself into something. It's good to do these videos. I wouldn't have put it in those words before I turned the camera on. This camera really does it. Good day yesterday. Wore me out. Oh my gosh, when I was done, I went out and my wife looked at me and she said, "You need to lay down." I was so, because it had been days of build-up, preparation, and very, not stress, anxiousness maybe is a better word, leading up to it, and relief. And I went to the beach afterwards, my second time at the beach for the day, and I didn't even get in the water. I just sat on the sand in exhaustion, pleasant exhaustion, the same exhaustion that one might feel after a marathon run, perhaps. Feels good, I guess. I've never done that, but I did cross country in high school, so I guess I know a little bit. We'll leave that at that. That was yesterday. The good life. My 8 objectives are to be always ready to die, to make good and effective use of time, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles, to cultivate good emotional reactions, to perform good actions, to recognize true limits and true opportunities, to do one thing at a time and do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully, to keep my balance. My 35 principles now are: let's see how I can do in scoring them until I get all 35. War, reason, homunculus, anchor hold, home of good and evil, purpose, atomic principle, principle of nature, the pirate ride, maturity, social principle, principle of family, public speaking, distraction, agency in the great indifference, the best seat in the house, wow, it feels like I missed a whole bunch. 5. Oh, well. The restless man, the path of wildness, the great life adventure, the risk of avoiding risk, sin and damnation, complete oblivion, the season of philosophy, script writing, the bullseye aim, the uphill climb, arena and utility, nothing is enough, the principle of fun and being prepared. Now isn't that funny how I said I think I missed 5? I'm at 30. There's 35. I missed 5. I know what 5 they are. How did I do this? Temperance. Life will not go well. The horror show. The feast of woeful. Boy, I can't remember the last one. 34. I really mucked that up. Oh well. Okay, for today. Have a good day ahead of us. Family adventure. Looking forward to it. Collecting a bit of LA before we leave. Finally, am I ready to die? Are my affairs in order? Yeah. Are my relationships sound? Yes. Is my life's work complete? Yes. So I can now leave without a single backwards glance. Be safe, but not too safe. I will move forward and up. I will rarely stop, and I will never